Continuation from our last class. So we were discussing about some EC2, right? EC2 instance, and we created, and we were able to see some snake game, and all of a sudden something got happen and it's got disconnected suddenly. Okay, so before that, let's understand regarding an application. So yesterday I just created one EC2 instance. I will also create an EC2 instance today as well, and then we'll see that. But before that, we should understand the types of applications. Yesterday, I just deployed the random normal snake game application, and that is working actually at my server. So how it is working, and in industry at your companies also. So what are the different kind of applications we are deploying and everything. Okay. First of all, as we know, there are multiple applications. Like you know that we have mobile applications, we have desktop application, right? And we have web applications, and we have cloud applications, and we have some CRM applications, right? And we have some like CRM and ERP applications. So like this, we have a different applications. But all these applications is having a tire called tire. Tire of an application, like single tire, okay, like 2 tire, 3 tire, multi-tire, and n-tire. So like this, we have the types of an application. Again, types and application means how an application exactly works. How an application exactly works. Let's say there is a user. There is a user. When user is trying to open something called www.com, then how my application is working dynamically or statically, how it is working. So what actually here involves? So there are three things involved. Okay, three things. One is UI. One is UI, and there will be a business logic layer. There will be a business logic, and then after there will be a data layer. So this is going to basically a basic architecture of an application, how it communicates. So it will be communicate like this and like this and like this. So here it will return and it will print. So how exactly? So these are structured, and with what name we are calling it. Let's jump into something deeper into this so that it will be very easy to understand for you. And whenever we're deploying in the next classes, we're deploying an application. Also, we are going to connect the application with the SQLs, DB, and also we are able to see the same kind of real application we are going to see with that over the cloud. Also, by using DevOps activities, we are going to deploy. So for that, we need to understand this one. This is the basic knowledge. Okay. So first we have different types of application types. So first one is single tier application, which is monolithic application. So basically right now, might be you already listened that we have two types of applications, services I would say. One is monolithic and another one is microservices. Right? And single tier is referred to the monolithic application that all components, UI, business logic, and database are in one system. One system means in one server. One system means all are in the one server. There are no separate servers or network connectivity are needed. Okay. So local computing app inside the one single server. Now you can see when a user is interacting with an application, single tier application. So in the same server, we'll be having database and also application. It is like this. So when this user is accessing, so here itself will be deploying one application, let's say Python application or let's say Java application, and here only we are keeping the DB. Okay, in just single server. In just single server. When you're not keeping DB, then this only server can call it as static application. Static application. That means that is completely with CSS and HTML. Okay. And when you connect this DB and you just connected something, you developed some code, the developer is developed something. So for dynamic thing, then that is only doing internally in this system, in system only, nothing but in one single server. So that is single tier application. That is single tier application. So when the user is interacts with an application. Here you can see clearly that the user and whenever he is interacting with single application. So the same thing will be, there will be a database inside the server itself. And again, there will be a two-tier application. Two-tier application, the UI and some business logic directly connects to the separate database server. Okay, so UI and business logic into one server and database into the another server. Separately it connects. So that means here you can see, by maintaining the single tier application, what is the disadvantage? Hey, if I'm keeping this database here, if my let me take my pen. Okay. So if my server down, then my application also down and my DB also down. Right. So these two are down. But I want to keep my database separately. If an application down, then I can ask my developer to do something and deploy something, then it can be worked. But DB, if it is down and application is running, no use. DB is running, but application is running, no use. The data will be stored inside the DB only, right? So that is an importance of the DB. So we cannot relay here. Cannot relay here. So what we will do, we'll keep DB separately into another server, separately into the another server, and we'll connect this one. Okay. Database server. Database server and database. Inside the database server, there will be a database. Okay. So this is the database server. Inside that, there will be a database. So this is going to connect, but different components of your code. This is going to connect. Now this is going to be a two-tier architecture. So that means here you have code and also you have some business logic here. Okay, some business logic here, and that is getting connecting with your DB. With there will be some network is involved in between. So that's what. So this diagram refer you can see. When user interacting with the client application, and then it is going to connect with the database server, and database server is going to communicate with the database. So database will be inside the server. Okay. So explanation also on each this code, you can directly go Google and you can type uh, mermaid code online visualizer, and you can keep this code, automatically it will generate this diagram. Or you can go for graph FH console online diagram generator, or dot code online generated diagram also. You can paste this code, automatically this diagram will be generated. Okay. Even you can use with the XML also. Okay, you can see the explanation also here I given for the two tier. A client communicates with the database server over the local network when the user inputs his data like scan product, and it's processed the client stored into the database on this server. So this is how the request will come. Okay, And coming to three-tier architecture, okay, three-tier application. So the application layer server acts as a mediator between the client and the database. Client and the database handling the business logic. Handling the business logic. When an e-commerce, like real-time example, you can take a Flipkart, okay, or Amazon. When an e-commerce website like Amazon, the user access the site is a client which interacting with the application server for business logic like order processing, which turns interacting with the database server. So this is a three-tier architecture. How when a user is opened www.com of Amazon and then the application server opens. I already told you, right? OSI layers. So at application layer, it will be open and it will present. And then the business logic layer will be served that dynamic connection. And then after it will communicate, trying to communicate and fetch the data from the database. Where the database will be, that is inside the database server. Okay, it can be PostgreSQL server or the SQL server, Aurora, Mongo, anything. Okay. And here you can see the explanation. It's the same thing. And now we are coming to the entire or multi-tier application. Entire or a multi-tier application. So this is something extensively like expanded version of the above three applications, you can say. So three-tier model with additional layers for specialized function like caching and API and load balancing. Here there'll be multiple servers will serve multiple functions of your application. Okay. Like social media platform, now you can take an example of Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and many other social media applications. So those are all working over entire application. Now you can call it as a containerization also. Okay, now in this modern terms. Okay. So an example like for posts and comments and notifications, there are different features and they like different communications and connections. So for that, how it will be handled. When the user is interacting with the client interface and that request nothing but your application interface, that request will forward to your load balancer and that load balancer will distribute your load and then the API will take your request. API will forward to the application server and then after it will follow to the cache layer. Okay, like kind of Redis database. Okay. And then it will again move it to the database where actual database is sitting. From here, the request will come to the user because there are different functionalities, very big functionalities. So in single tier, there will be a normal, okay, but here we need to handle the huge number of users are coming into the server and they need the faster responses from the business logic layer and also data. So in that case, this is the structure, entire multi-tier application. You can say it is a microservices. You can say it is microservices. What is the basic difference between these two? Okay. You can say microservices and entire application. Now, diagram. Okay. When user is interacting, and the request comes to your API gateway, and that API gateway will routes to the different auth databases like payment database, inventory, and auth. So the request will be served to user again when the successful retrieve happen. So we are going to see these things in our coming classes, like how the UI can be, how a database can be connected, how in between the business logic, how an API we can connect. All these things we're going to see in our coming classes. Okay, don't worry, we are not doing any development, but to understand complete IT and software, how a developer is working and why he's asking me to deploy the API. We are a DevOps, right? So if you'll ask us to deploy an API, sometimes you are working as a SRE. Okay, when you're working as an SRE, there will be some service will be down over the application. Then how are you going to check it? Which team is responsible for that? You need to reach out to them and ask them that, hey, this is something happened, so you need to check this one. All this how you can see. When you get this information, when you know all these things, you can confidently ask, or you can confidently communicate with the different teams. So this is your subject. Okay, you can read this explanation clearly. So this is how the microservices. To tell you in a very layman language, how a monolithic and microservices are. Let's say I have an application now. Okay. So that is having everything here, like login and orders after orders and something. Multiple features and options are there. Okay. Like add to cart and all. Now consider this as Windows operating system. Windows operating system. Okay. In your Windows operating system, in your laptop, suddenly some update came. Okay. Like you want to update something. So you have did some update. Once you did the update, it will ask you to restart to reflect that update. Right. So that is monolithic. If something is updated here, you want to update this feature in this application. So in this website, see, let's say this is the dashboard now, which I'm drawing now. If a developer wants to update this share button, okay, so he need to deploy entire code again. He need to deploy entire code for this application. Entire code will be into the one single repository, one single folder. So everything again he need to deploy. So means without disturbing this service, he cannot update this service. That means it is tightly coupled. Without disturbing other thing, you cannot update one service in the application. So that is tightly coupled. This is called monolithic. This is called monolithic. And coming to microservices, yes, simple, eliminate this one. Now you have this service, you will write a separate folder for it, like nothing but repository. Okay, repository in your GitHub. For this separate. For this, some developer will separate work. It can be okay. For this separately, you can deploy this separately into the one server. You're deploying this into the one server. You're deploying this into the one server. Everything is decoupled, but all integratedly works as one application from UI and API. UI and API. Okay, all are going to be communicated with the API. So everything is decoupled. One service is not depending on another one. So if you want to update this, yes, do your development, run your pipeline and deploy. So this is microservice architecture, decoupled architecture. It is not depending on one on another. Monolithic is going to depend on one on another, tightly coupled. If you poke one service, other service will automatically affected. Okay, so like this. So that is monolithic and this is microservices architecture. So don't be get confused. This is an interview question. When interviewers are asking this question, just give this simple example. Okay. So Windows operating system is a monolithic, and what is an example of microservices? Then Linux operating system. Linux operating system is the example of microservices. Okay. So these are the types of application, like it can be a mobile application, web application, desktop application, cloud application, ERP application, that whatever you are may going to work in the industry. So you will be going to work on this tier of applications. Mostly now you will able to see 3-tier applications, single tier application, and microservices applications like entire applications. Only you will see. So where I can see single tier applications, sir, means if your project is migrating, that is over the on-premises data center, and they are just doing some migration, and there are some single solutions applications also. So that is the minimum business requirement. There is a small business requirement, like kind of billing invoice. So you need to send up some billing invoice to the people. So for that, single repository, it's enough. That can be done in a 2-tier. Even that can be done in a 1-tier also, like single tier. So according to the business, so to save your cost and not to affect, you can create these applications. Basically, developers will do that. Okay, we are going to deploy this. We are going to create this infra with the servers over the cloud. Okay, so this is types of and tiers of an applications. Interview question, very important. We need to know, because coming classes, whenever we're going to deploy, so you need to identify that is this which tier of application. You need to tell, is this which tier of application. Okay, now my application is running inside the server. Then how it can be worked? So I just prepared a notes of DNS flow also, how your computer will communicate with the yes, application. Say, let's say you when you are enter some URL like www.com in your browser. So first that is going to check your local cache. Cache in the sense local storage at your laptop, your system and operating system. Okay. So is there are any recent DNS records for this domain? Like previously you had any history? Okay, nothing but history. Local DNS cache check. If the DNS record not in the browser cache, the computer checks the operating system DNS cache. Okay, 2 times. First, it will check your browser and then it will check your operating system. If still not found, the request sent to the DNS resolver from your ISP. If you are connecting through the Airtel Wi-Fi, if you're connecting to the like Geo SIM, so that is going to first check with the ISP where with the 8.8.8.8. This is the global DNS, you can say. From anywhere in the world, you can ping this IP address. If you are not getting response from this 8.8.8, then your internet and DNS is not working. Okay. So this is the first check 8.8.8 and then 4.4.4, primary and secondary, 4.4.4. Okay. You can check this IP address with a ping. You can check this IP address with the ping. Okay. And then what happens? The DNS resolver performs recursive query to find an IP associated with the domain. So that means it is looking for the 8.8.8 and then this request from whenever it is checking from your provider, then this will forward to your root DNS server. Root DNS server means where we registered our DNS like .com, .in, .net. So these are root servers. We call them top level domain. Call them as top level domain. So which is the resolver first contacts the root server, root DNS server, which directs to the appropriate top level domain. Then TLD DNS server. There will be 3 servers again. Okay. So TLD DNS server. This server will direct the query to authoritative DNS server to responsible to check this example.com. If some customer is already registered with some of the DNS name, with the .com into TLD server, then it will be solve the query. If not, it will drop. Okay. So authoritative DNS server, then the server contains an IP address for this, and it will send back to the resolver. It will send back to the resolver. So whenever your laptop is searching, something, if the DNS is not found from your network, we call it as IP packet. Okay, IP packet. IP packet. So this IP packet, okay, this IP packet, what it will do, so there will be a headers and tailors. Okay, and whenever it is going to search, first it will hold source IP first, and then whatever the destination, okay, destination IP, it will hold. So then whenever it is going to the network router, network layer, to the router, your Wi-Fi router, so it will keep FFFFFFF. Okay, FFF means broadcasting. FFF means broadcasting. Okay, so this is going to be resolved here actually. Okay, FF means it will send to multiple DNS servers, root servers, like are you this guy, are you this guy, are you this guy, like this. It will do broadcasting. Then it will resolve your and send back to your resolver. So resolver sends an IP address to the client. So the DNS resolver cache IP address will send back to your computer, and then you'll be able to associate with that. Okay. So this is how the creating and sending IP packet. You can see. Okay. So the browser creates HTTP or HTTPS request address with the sum of the IP address, having source IP, destination IP, and source port, destination port. We already discussed port and protocol, the way of communication, and packets travels through the internet. So the packet will send multiple routers in the network which have direct and closer destination to the IP routing table. IP routing table. We'll discuss this routing table also in AWS Cloud. Okay. So router hop. Hop is nothing but a network device, a server or a network device. Hop. Okay. Router hop. Each router examines the packet's destination and forward to the next router, which is closer. And that is going to finally reach with an IP, and that will reach to the firewall or a load balancer. So which is going to check the packet and forward to the web server application, like the load balancer we use, right? Like at UI, Nginx or in Apache. So these are web server tools. And the server process your request and send back your request with your application layer, which is nothing but your HTML page. So this is how it go. This is how it go. These many servers will involve in between. Okay. When a client to DNS server the query happen, it is going to involve these many. So this is DNS, guys. And might be we have all some confusion. What .com, what .in, what .org, what .net, what edu. So .com is a commercial one, which we are using for the commercial businesses, but now you can use anything. .in is especially for the India country code, like we generally use it the organization individuals. For individuals actually it is, but now everyone is using it. Even our domain also .in domain only. .org is for organizations and .net is for network. Now you can use for all purpose. So .edu for education and .gov for government. See government, they'll show .gov.in, government India. Okay. and MIL for military. And there are such other countries also like .tech, .online, shop, UK, AU like this. There are other domains also, TLDs. So don't be confused whenever you see this dot things. Okay. So this is the DNS. Okay. We are going to again do a practical over the DNS creation. We'll create and we'll associate and we'll see with our application also. But for that practical, this is the preparation as I said, right? All this I'm driving, so I'm taking you to on a path where you can easily understand all this. Okay. Here you can see the connectivities, how it will be communicate with the three servers. Check these notes at your classroom. So who are all enrolled, they are already added into the classroom. So there you can check the videos and also this notes. All these notes will be available. And let's come back to our AWS. So yesterday we see in that EC2, right? Let's go to EC2. Here, instances, the left side you can see instances. I'll just create one server now again. So see, launch instance, and I'm giving it as web server. Whenever you deploy web application, then you can call it as web server. Now I'm going with Amazon Linux, t2.micro, and I'm selecting my key pair. So key pair we already discussed, right? It is getting connect from your computer to your server. And here network settings we not came, will come to this point. And here security group. Yesterday I told you, right? So these options we need to check. I already created yesterday, so I'm going to use the same one. Okay. Launch wizard and this is 8 GB GP3 value. And I'm just number of servers are 1 launch instance. It is launching and view all instances. See, the server is running right now. To connect this server, I have to go to this checkbox. When you check this box, automatically you will able to fetch some information. That is private IP address and public IP address. Public IP address can be communicated to your application, then it will extract your application, it will show you UI. And here I would like to connect. So connect button. And this instance state button, you can stop the instance, reboot the instance, terminate the instance. So these options are there. If you go to actions, here you can connect instance, view details, manage instance state, instance settings, networking, and manage templates and monitor and troubleshoot. So these options are available and those options are also available in the down, you can see. So if you go to monitoring, here you can see, so it will show you CPU utilization, network in and out, and network packet. You can see the packet, how your server is communicating again. The packets and CPU credits, everything it will show you here monitor. And even we can create a status and alarm for whenever my server is behaving weird, then we can get immediate notification alert and we can take an action to solve some issue. Okay. And security is nothing but your inbound and outbound rules. Here you can see my security group. What is security group again? So here my server is there and I have created some security group in front of this. Okay. So this is having something called inbound and something called outbound. That means the request coming inside and the request going outside. So that is inbound and outbound. Inbound and also outbound. Okay. We need to allow certain protocols and port number. That is a way of communication, right? So that we need to allow through this security group so that it will be authenticated with your server. So that's what we have did here. You can see 22 is a one protocol port number, 80 is one protocol and port number, 443 is one protocol and port number. When you see this IP address, that means anywhere. So it means anywhere. Okay. Now I would like to connect to my server. Let me go and click on this connect button. Here I have 4 options. So we can use these 2 options. Okay. So this one and this one. So this one is we need to install some SSM agent, session manager agent. Okay. There we can do some configurations. Okay. Inside the server. For configuration management, we use this one. And EC2 serial console will be not authorized. You can connect this one for your maintenance work. Okay. Let's say SSH client. So these are the steps that you can follow if you are using MacBook. For Windows, it is not needed. You just need to copy this one. You just need to copy this one and open your file explorer. Yesterday, when I created my key pair, so it is downloaded into my download section. So from there, I'm opening my git bash. Okay. So open terminal. You can directly type open terminal. Okay. Paste this one and hit enter. Wait a minute. So are you want to continue to connecting to the server? Yes. Now I have connected to my server. So first thing first, you can give a clear command. So it will clear. First thing first, what we need to do whenever we connecting to Linux server, we need to do a make an habit of update. Okay. Here it is M update. M update means so the package manager here. So that we need to do. So here it is telling I am not a super user. So sudo su. So sudo is a super user of this box, who is nothing but a admin. Okay, update is having all permissions. So everything is already updated. Like yesterday, I just want to deploy one more application again. So whenever you're deploying any application into any server, okay, index.jsp and index.html are main files. If it is for front end, okay, for UI, index.html and index.js, okay, for Node.js and React.js. HTML is HTML and CSS. When your browser, for example, here my browser is there. Okay, here my browser is there. So this is my browser, and I'm searching something www something dot. Okay, when I'm searching, my browser is looks for to the server, and then it will inside the server it looks for an application, and inside this application it looks for index.html page first. So here is the UI. All the layout, even what I'm drawing here, the color background, the options, everything is from this CSS, HTML, and index.html. First, index.html has to be loaded. Okay. So we have, so inside this server, I want to do this one. How can I get communicate? A server is having the feature of if I keep the index.html file, will my server expose automatically to an IP address? Directly, does it going to expose? No, it is not having a some capabilities. If you're writing some high level code like Java and directly connecting that, it can be, but in that also there will be some code will be there, but now here I just want to see this application. Will my server able to? No. So there will be a web service tools for that particular function. So which web service tools we have? We have HTTPD. Is nothing but Apache servers. Okay, Apache. And we have Nginx. Okay, we have Tomcat also, JBoss also, Glassfish also, like other tools also we have web server tools. Okay. Now I would like to deploy here, means I would like to just configure my HTTPD. Okay, my HTTPD. So this is my code, index.html. Okay. So then whatever the request comes here, so this is going to forward to this one. So whatever the request come to your server will forward to HTTPD, then HTTPD will go to forward and it will open. And before we are doing this, let's open something, a website like Myntra.com. Okay. So now I have opened Myntra.com. Okay. So if you go here, three dots, more tools, or you can just right click anywhere. There it is, not coming. This browser. Okay. So go to these three dots, more tools, and go to developer tools. Here you can find your HTML code, how it is laid out, all this thing. You can see selecting all this. This is HTML code. Okay, if you have this extracted, then you can do this. Now what I'll do, I'll just go to my server, same kind of thing I'll do. For that, I need to deploy, means install some dependency. Which one? HTTPD. HTTPD will understand that one, right? Yum install httpd -y command is yum install httpd -y is the command. I have installed, then I need to make sure that has to be started. I need to make sure that has to be started. For that, I need to run a command service httpd start. So it is going to start. You can see it is started. So we'll see these commands all. It is started. Now I'll go cd /var /www/html, where in server in this path I need to keep. So this is a path where I need to keep my code. Okay, then the server can be able to open. If you want to keep in another way, no. If you not install this httpd and if you're trying to go to this path, you're not able to go. With this code only, you'll able to go this. If you normally created an HTML folder and you keep it over there and you browse the IP address, will you able to see the application over the web? No, you cannot. So HTTPD can understand your request and it will forward. So let's see, let's take any code. So what I'll be doing in front of you only will deploy any static application. Like you can go and search some static web apps to download. So there are multiple websites there already, number of websites there. there. Let's take any code. Okay. What I'll do, I just have one code, then I'll just clone here. For that, I need to install some dependency. That is nothing but git. Okay. I'm install git -5. Okay. I'm installing this. Well, whatever you want to install here, just install the tool name and -y. And I just cloning one URL. So that's it. Flipkart clone. Okay. So this is done. I'll just go to this Flipkart now, and ls I have some code called css and index.html. I'll just go to my server instances and I'll check my public IP address and I'll come here. I'll put it in the URL and colon, like no need of even keeping colon, slash, because there is some folder, slash. What is that folder name? This is Flipkart clone. Okay. Come here and keep it like this and enter. It is open Flipkart, but not really. It is something a code that incomplete code. You can see almost all things are coming, but it will not able to navigate to any other thing. Now I'll click on this omen collection, main connection, TPF links. Okay, it will not redirect to any other thing. So that means it is completely HTML, CSS static application. We call it as static application. If there will be some logic behind, and then I'll connect to the database, single layer application. Okay, this is just a UI, like this. So many, you might listen landing pages, some digital marketers are using, right? So all those things are going to happen like this. So just a normal static application we are deploying like this. Okay, it is not even used at real-time industries, but yes, there will be UI development, and then we'll write some logic behind, and then we'll connect APIs, and then it will connect to the databases. So I'll tell you there will be authentication process, token process. I'll tell you all these things in coming classes. So this is first you need to practice. Okay. So from these onwards, I'll take you to some advanced level, like deploying, creating some database, creating like how connecting applications to that, and then types of servers, and then how we can create the infrastructure over the cloud. So each service I'll take you in deep with like very layman terms, okay, with layman terms and easy to understand. I hope everyone is clear. Anyone having any doubt?
Summarize your ones total.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what we have discussed today? So we have discussed,
All types of applications.
yes, types of app types, okay, and then discuss DNS flow.
DNS and
How Yes, it is connecting from your computer to an application,
Yes, sir.
and what is the process in between, and in the types of application also, like each one is having like a good functionality in between.
Yes,
So these
yes,
things
sir.
we
Yes.
discussed, and then we created one EC2 server, right? And then we deployed
Yes, sir.
one application, that is static
Static.
application. We deployed.
Yes.
So these things we
We
did.
cover.
The
Okay.
continuity of this static application. So we are going to learn something about DB. Like as we
Database. Okay.
discussed, app tires, right?
Yes.
So this is static. Now let's connect the DB something, and then we can able to see how a UI is retrieving data, or a UI is behaving with a user when
Okay.
user is interacting. So how user data is going to store in database to database.
Okay.
So this is continuity. So then after we'll learn about something about the server, like
Okay.
how to deal with the server, what commands and all, nothing but a Linux first, okay? And then
Okay.
we'll go and learn about the network over the cloud, like building nothing but IaaS,
Okay.
networking thing over the IaaS, the AWS,
Infrastructure as a cloud.
yes, service, okay? All
Yes.
this we're going to sequence wise we are going. So
Okay,
this will
sir.
give
Okay.
you a complete clear understanding, guys. Like you will get everything, the connectivity. So the things which I'm every day saying in a sequence manner, I'll take
Okay. Real time scenarios.
yes.
Okay. Okay. Okay, sir. Got it.
Yeah. And once you created your server, once you've done your practice, just select this, go and terminate your server. Don't forget to terminate your server.
Yes. And then delete
Terminate.
instance.
Yes. Don't terminate at your organization, at your own account only. Terminate it. Okay.
Sir, inside the applications we install now, sir. So those uninstall not required. Directly we can terminate. No need to uninstall all
Yeah.
the.
If you're terminating,
Okay.
the application also will be destroyed, right?
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. And like overall, already admin contacted you. Just please do your enrollments, and then immediately you'll be added to your Google Classroom where you can find these notes and also recordings at one go. And you will be added into the Slack, into a group where we do a continuous communication into a Slack group, like real-time organization. We do Teams communication, right? The same way here also we do into a separate platform, that is Slack. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Slack and Teams are the two communication mediums companies are using. We're going to communicate here in the Slack. It's like
Okay.
I also create the organization. I'll also create the board. I'll also assign your homeworks over there as a task. So all this
Okay.
is going to be like same like the real time. And after set of classes done, then I'll ask your updates. Like I'll
Okay.
give you some developments, then you have to do that.
Okay.
Is everyone clear?
Yes, sir. Yes.
IL Rahman and Prabhat, Vivek, Liga, Charan.
Okay.
Okay. So any
Okay.
confusion, you can just call me directly, offline call. You can call me directly over my number, and who are available, they'll pick up and they'll resolve your issue. Not, you can just draft me your software enrolling. So draft me your issue over the Slack. So your direct contact over the Slack to me, you can huddle over there. So whatever the things, it will be very easy communication over the Slack. So I'll be there for to connect immediately, and we can do no need of meeting and all, there itself only we connect in the Slack. Easily we can connect over there, and we can do screen sharing, all these things we can do over there in the Slack.
Yes.
Okay then. Then thank you everyone. And one thing, tomorrow we are not having class.
Okay.
We are having class on Friday. I'm not sure people are into the festival mode, will join or not. I'll just create a, if your people are available, then I'll take the class, just confirm me. Otherwise, the class will be again on the Monday.
Yeah, sorry, I have one question. What is the course duration?
Course duration is 90 days.
90. So, within 90 days, so you'll cover all the MLs and
Yes.
multi-cloud.
In 90 days, 90 like 80 to 90 recording sessions. 90 days means.
Okay.
Okay, so you can eliminate the Saturdays, Sundays, all this. People outside will say that including Saturdays, Sundays, they'll say 90 days, not like that. So almost one class can be extended to 1 hour, 1.5 hour. All this are going to be calculated, and so 90 lectures. So if it is a class happen 1.5 hour and means 90 hours, so that you can calculate and we can take to the 90. The same way, I'm telling it as 90 hours to this 90 days. So that means there will be 80 lectures, 80 or 85 lectures you can see, or 80 lectures you can see over your like space, like drive. Okay, so there you can prepare all these things: multi-cloud, Azure, GCP, DevOps, 3 Kubernetes, like Terraform over 3 clouds, Kubernetes over 3 clouds, and ML operations over the 3 clouds.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Document will be for every class, no, sir? You will share the
Yes,
document for all.
every class is having a document like this,
Okay, okay.
and after every document, so there will be interview questions added.
Okay, okay.
Okay, automatically after class next day, the interview questions will be added, because for this topic we need to check the previous data, which are all the common questions are asked. So those questions only will update here in the
Okay.
interviews, because we do interview preparation to many students. So there all the questions are recorded at us. All common pattern questions are we going to keep it here under the notes. So
Okay.
these questions will help you a lot to crack your interviews.
Okay, okay.
Sorry, I have one more question. Yeah, I have gone through the list of course content. So that in course content clearly mentioned that the models 10 and 11 as showing the new one. So those are also covered this top this training, right?
Yeah. Whatever in the course content mentioned, I'm going to complete all this in this classes.
Okay.
So you are saying 3 clouds with the DevOps and 3 clouds with the ML also. Might your few topics are very new to you, but while I'm teaching after DevOps, trust me, after DevOps, whatever the content you're going to learn on ML, you'll love it. So you will going to stick to that point, because that much interesting subject it is. And the market also insisting to hire the people. So don't lose this opportunity, I'm telling you. So big MNC companies are giving training inside to DevOps engineers to get into the ML. And
Yeah.
product-based companies are looking for ML guys.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
ML, machine learning. Okay.
Yes. And machine learning, you're not going to develop anything on the machine learning. You're going to operate. There are already data scientists are there. Data
Okay.
scientist job is machine learning. Okay. And data migration, data things, data orchestration, everything is going to done by the data engineering guys. But those people are already busy with their work. Then who will going to operate and maintain at the production environments? There is a guy. That guy is me. That's it.
Okay.
Okay then. So please respond to our admin calls. So if admin is calling multiple times, so don't be mind that. Okay. And enroll as soon as possible to get all these notes, dumps and everything. One Gmail, immediate access to everything.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
So
sir.
I think please confirm me that should I take the class on Friday or next Monday?
Yeah.
Friday is okay, sir.
No, like 1, 2 or 3 people. That's not good. So today also there should be multiple members need to join. Sorry, Payal.
Friday is okay for me.
Okay then. Let's connect on Friday then. Yeah. Thank you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.